You could choose to say, I'm not using it, I'm using my brain. And guess what? Please use your brain, but also please use AI, because if you're not taking advantage of this technology and your competitors are, your peers are, you're going to be last in the race. There is no human being alive that could read through the Windows Event Viewer in real time. AI allows us to hire less people and also make better use of the people that we have's time, right? Is there going to be a workforce displacement? Unfortunately, the answer is yes. I think coding's going to be dead, by 2026. If you're watching this in 27, there's going to be no coders. I'm Anthony Mangialuzzo, and welcome to Built to Scale. So we're going to talk about a topic today, the AI arms race. Should you be excited? Maybe worried. I think a bit about both, and we could go quite down the rabbit hole with artificial intelligence. But what I could say to you is AI is reshaping business, it's reshaping cybersecurity, it's reshaping our brains, the way we communicate, and it's a great threat and an opportunity. So let's start the conversation. The AI boom really started in 2025. And what I could tell you is over the last 90 days, I've seen AI really expand at least 5 years in progress. There's too many AI tools that I could even name, whether it's your medical doctor, whether it's coding, whether it's security, whether it's tech support, whether it's your therapist, life advice, or for any of you that know, and if you know, Grok on unhinged mode. That will do some things to you. So your major companies, right? Microsoft, Google, OpenAI, Meta, they're all investing in it. Mark Zuckerberg has actually offered salaries of $100 million to the best AI programmers. So hence, it really is an arms race. And remember too, if you're like me and you have a Tesla or a smart driving car, that car is not a computer, it's AI. It thinks, it acts, it responds. And, let me give you some real examples on AI and productivity and everything it's doing. This one actually baffled me. If you call, let's say, MGM, and I'm not saying these casinos or these places use it, but I saw an AI technology. It was an operator, and you pay $500 a month, and you get 3 quote unquote people that answer the phones. When you call in, it recognizes your voice, it looks at caller ID. You actually think that you're talking to a real person, and this AI could book your hotel room, schedule a service delivery, interact with your system. And again, imagine getting a human being 24 hours a day for, call it, $165 and change a month, right? Because it's 3 for $500. AI is becoming that real. You've all had the AI chatbots when you go on to different websites, and let's be honest, 80% of the time, it's actually able to help you out. We're using AI when we're dealing with cybercrime. We're using AI when it comes to data collection. We're using AI in a real-time basis. Imagine this, when, we do global ransomware response and threat protection and things like that, you have to look at the logs when you're getting hacked. There is no human being alive that could read through the Windows Event Viewer in real time. You're getting tens of thousands of messages a minute, but guess what can? AI. And what AI does is it looks for certain things, you could set the parameters, and then it will kick over the outliers to the human being. So in some weird ways, AI is turning humans into robots and RoboCop. So there's definitely a lot of good to it. And I mean, for those of us that were around for the .com boom, maybe the .com bust, we're really dealing with a new internet. Google changed the landscape. Let's be honest. There was Bing and Microsoft and Yahoo and Netscape and all these different things, but Google was really the next iteration of the web where there was actually a functional search engine. AI is now making Google look like child's play. So let's go to positives first, right? I really like to talk about positive things, but there's gonna be some negatives we're gonna talk about. So one, AI is a productivity multiplier. You could get so much done with less, right? Automation, it works when you sleep. It could help you with your marketing campaigns. Small businesses, they're able to use AI and really compete with larger enterprises that had more people, more time, more talent maybe, but now AI is kind of leveling the playing field. So, let's say you want to start a marketing campaign and, have multiple email lists or things that are going on. AI is great for that. I was talking to my business partner, Bill Evans. He's going to a trade show. He actually put in the list of all the people that were going to be at the trade show, all the exhibitors, things like that. He then had to compare to his website and what he was looking for, while also putting a floor plan up of where all the exhibitors were going to be. AI actually built him a roadmap to walk around in the most efficient and effective way to talk to those people. So that's awesome, right? Predictive maintenance, sales forecasting, AI is going to be great at that. Cash flow analysis for your business, maybe comparing your P&Ls or balance sheets, right? Obviously change the name if you're going to put it, online. You don't want to share your financials there, but there is a lot of things that AI is really helping out in the real world here. The way we try to look at it here at PCS, right? AI is not going to take your job, right? We're not going to put some AI mechanism in and cut 20% of our staff or do anything like that. But what it does do, AI allows us to hire less people and also make better use of the people that we have time, right? What I always like to say is, I don't need to remember stuff anymore, right? Because everything's on Google, everything's on your phone. The most functional thing that I could do is I could use my brain to actually think, right? And I think that's what AI allows you to do. If there's a mundane task that you have and you could automate it, why wouldn't you? So now the risks, right? So one of the creepiest stories that I covered on Fox 29 News, and I give this mom, and I say it all the time, a lot of credit. So with AI now, there's a lot of deep fakes, they call them. So I'm talking here, we're on the podcast, we're on YouTube. You have a sampling of my voice. AI could very quickly now create and keep my voice. So the news story was about a daughter was away at a sporting event. They used the dark web. They used other things to find personal information, cell phones, things like that. And what the hackers did was they called this child's mom with a caller ID that looked like her cell phone number. So when the mom picked up the phone, it said her daughter's name. Well, what they did to the mom was they said, listen, we have your daughter. We're going to kill her. If you don't wire $100,000 now, we're taking your daughter's life. And in the background, they had a capture with a deep fake of the daughter's voice screaming, please, mom, help, help. And the mom was actually smart enough to get on her phone. And again, I don't know how, looked at the Find My iPhone, and she realized the daughter was, and the phone that was calling her was nowhere near where the hackers said they were. So the mom didn't send the money. She quietly called the daughter on the other phone. I was like, Mom, I'm safe. Like, what are you talking about? But again, so AI really is, allowing hackers to go deep. Ransomware. We all deal with ransomware. We have our critical incident response team here at PCS. And now with AI, while a lot of coding companies and software development companies are using it to make their software faster, more efficient, hackers are using this to make more potent ransomware, more potent computer viruses. The AI can work so much faster than a human being. It's a very big concern because you could have this thing produce viruses all day long. Other things with AI, right? Is there going to be a workforce displacement? Unfortunately, the answer is yes, right? Well, we're not doing it here. If you start looking at those Tesla robots and things like that, they can do house cleaning. They can do farming, Uber Eats, right? If you have the robo-taxi when it comes out and the Tesla robot, the robot can go to the store and buy all your food. So, there is going to be some definite disadvantages with AI, and kind of like the milkman, right? When the refrigerators come in, you don't need the milkman anymore. So there's going to be a very, very big switch. A couple of years ago, the joke was, hey, learn the code. Well, I think coding's going to be dead, by 2026. If you're watching this in 27, there's going to be no coders. So with AI, right, we have to look at, the ethics involved in this, right? So I have a Tesla, and I say that a lot because I really do love the car. It's cool. But, as a human being, right, when we drive a car, our mission is to protect ourselves. If we see harm coming our way, we're going to try to avoid it. We're going to swerve. We're going to do whatever we can. It's a human instinct, just like breathing. But now let's say the Tesla, it knows it's going to get into an accident, right? There is a mom in a baby carriage walking one way. There's an older couple another way, or me in the car. The Tesla is going to have to hurt someone. I don't know the answer, but what is the ethical response, and how do we program AI? And the other thing that we have to worry about is who's programming the AI. So we all know, many times AI does not give you the right answers. It's fortunately getting a lot better, but again, it's all things that our human brain still has to process and still has to function. So, as a business leader, what do we need to do? And I tell my business friends all the time, you don't necessarily need to be an AI expert, but what I would challenge you to do is just experiment, explore, be curious, right? Spend, not for your team, right? Have your team do it, but you should spend 10 to 15 minutes a day using AI. So all that being said, right? As much as I fear AI, if you talk to me, if we're at the bar having a drink, I do not think this is a good thing, but it's not going anywhere. So we all have to be cautiously optimistic. And you could choose to say, I'm not using it, I'm using my brain. And guess what? Please use your brain, but also please use AI, because if you're not taking advantage of this technology and your competitors are, your peers are, you're going to be last in the race. So at PCS, I could tell you, we're already integrating AI into a lot of different things: our incident response, our proactive monitoring, our backup solutions, even our phone system. So, and I'll give you a quick real world example there. With our phone system, when folks call in, we have keywords plugged in. So if we hear certain words, we know to get certain technicians ready that are experts in different areas. GoToMeeting basically gives the sentiment of our phone calls. It lets our local team leaders know for each team if a call seems to be going not the way that it should, and we're able to cure the problem before it becomes a big problem. So again, every business is different. Your business is unique. Ours is unique, but there's solutions there that you could put in with AI. And again, don't be in last place and be cautiously optimistic. So hope you tune in next time to Built to Scale.